Well, hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Bandwidth and
Banter.
It's nice to see you all again. I'm your host Stormy D, and over there is the other host of Bandwidth and Banter, my co-host Druid IRL with the green hair and the bright sunshiny smile. Sorry, you're not wearing the shirt for that.
I know. It's fine though.
Yeah. My goodness. As always, the highlight of our week, Druid, hanging out with amazing folks. Just like last week, my God, Mystery Hildebrand, what a sweet, charming, hilarious fellow.
Love him.
Like, I swear to God,
Love
he
him.
reminds me of a character straight out of Harry Potter. Like, I totally want to hang out with him and BT and OG Blaze and all the other folks in the UK sometime. That would be so awesome. Of course, he's not in the UK. He's actually in Sweden, so it's quite a ways away. Different time zone, in fact. But
it's an hour apart, 2 hours.
Yeah, something
2 hours,
2, 3, something like that. Yeah. But yeah. So who do we have tonight, Druid? I mean, I know, but I want you to tell us the amazing person that we have tonight. He's so warm and sweet and just
wonderful and wild. And the kind of person that I love interacting with.
Yeah.
Because I'm an energy matcher and I have a feeling he's also an energy matcher. So I will just climb this energy matching ladder and by the end of it just be like, ah! And I would just love it so much. bunnieSlaughter.
Yes. bunnieSlaughter, such an easy person to vibe with. Let's bring him on the show and start this interview off.
We're so lucky.
Look at that sweet smile. He looks so innocent.
Hello.
Hello.
Do I do the thing where I talk about myself now?
Yes, please, everyone. This is bunnieSlaughter. Welcome him in. And please, bunnieSlaughter, tell the folks about yourself and your stream.
Okay, I'm going to look dead into the camera, so it's weird. I'm bunnieSlaughter. The Cole's notes of me is ADHD, mental illness. I'm a dad, and slightly chaotic ADHD. But I think pretty wholesome, mostly. Sometimes not wholesome, mostly wholesome. And then I play all kinds of games wherever the hyperfixation takes me because I can't play games I'm not interested in, and I'm not like this day passionate about. It's very hard. So I usually end up playing just wherever my brain is at that day.
Love it.
Totally understand.
Relatable.
Yep, relatable. Exactly, for sure. On the gaming front and the other stuff too, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, so Druid, I think it's you who gets to start us off today. I'm looking forward to it.
I do.
Let's jump straight in to the grilling of our good friend bunnieSlaughter. Just kidding. No pressure.
All the pressure. Just kidding. bunnieSlaughter, please share a boring fact about yourself.
Okay, I'll admit I did a little research before coming online. I was furiously watching interviews today, being like, okay, what can I prepare for so I can be less anxious? And I came up with one fact that I've now decided is not boring enough. So the boring fact that I have provided is that I abhor socks. I will never wear them if I don't have to. My feet sweat and I used to describe them as foot prisons. Because it just feels terrible. It's a sensory experience I don't want ever. So yeah, that's.
I'm gonna cut in and ask a follow-up sensory question.
Yep.
When you do wear socks, they have to be the exact same thickness, right?
Okay.
Otherwise, you can't walk. For me, my socks have to be the same thickness, or I can't walk. I cannot. So.
Admittedly, that's probably the case now. But I try to buy all the same socks, so I never have to think about that. But previously, I used to wear mismatched socks on purpose because I'm weird. So I don't know.
Relatable.
Now, probably both matched is better, but yeah, I've definitely had times where I would just be like, okay, well, looks too much like I'm going to fit in. I got to make this weirder.
I like it.
I get that.
I need some negative attention in my life, okay?
Awesome. I definitely respect that perspective. I think too many people that they end up, trying to follow everybody else and nothing wrong with wanting to fit in and be a part of a group and be a part of, some cool people and all that. But it's always been my thing to be very counterculture, just very much want to be unique, as unique as possible. I respect the hell out of that.
Mm-hmm.
So on that note, this is a perfect segue into our next question, which is, how did you pick your Twitch name and what was the inspiration?
Okay. I also remembered that this was a question, but I didn't know how to properly summarize it, so I'm just going to take a stab at it.
Perfect.
It's so weird because it sounded funny when I did it, and now I think it sounds kind of weird, but it was like the only joke I ever had work in therapy. So I was just before I started on Twitch, I was doing like group therapy for PTSD, which I know is like way too heavy a reveal. I don't want to make anyone uncomfortable, but that's just a fact about me.
Yep.
And we were talking about like spheres of responsibility. So like if your self-blame this is also, I know this is way too much detail, but whatever.
Go for it.
There's like, if you're blaming yourself for something, you might not actually even logically in your head think that you're responsible for it. Like if you go back through, you're like, oh, actually, you know what? There's very little I could do to affect that outcome. So why do I feel responsible? So we were talking about like, it was like we're talking about like I said like, oh, is that the difference between like murder and manslaughter? And they were like, yeah, I guess that's kind of it. It's like whether you intended to do something like because there was like something bad happened because of you, but you didn't do it on purpose, and then something bad that doesn't happen has nothing to do with you. Like it was those kinds of layers. And we started talking about, I was like, okay, yeah, like swerving away to try not to hit a rabbit, and then that led me to saying, oh yeah, like bunnieSlaughter, and then people laughed, and I was like, oh, amazing. And then I also checked myself being like, why are you trying to get laughs in therapy? But it stuck with me, and then I for some reason I was like, oh, I can get this name on everything. Nobody else would think this is a good name, so it's perfect.
I love that much.
And it makes for great conversation because, like me, I saw it and thought, oh, it's Bunny's laughter, right?
Yes, and that is the instigator part of me that was like, okay, I'm going to make it deliberately obtuse. I'm going to put the inner case in there, but I'm going to spell it like plural bunnies, so people are going to be really confused. Like, is it slaughter or laughter? I don't know why. I just wanted that to be a thing.
No, it's glorious. I appreciate it.
Yep,
I appreciate it.
I'm always putting too much effort into things that don't really matter. It just it tickles me, and that's enough.
I think that. Yes.
Agreed.
bunnieSlaughter. What D&D class do you consider yourself to be in real life?
This is a tricky one. Not because I'm like overly versed in D&D, but because the small amount I know has made me extremely opinionated. The one time I was able to play a full campaign, I played a rogue, so I have a lot of fondness for that character class, and I consider myself fairly sneaky. I'm a big person, but I can move pretty stealthily. It sounds, again, these things like I in my head they sound cool, and I say them out loud and they sound like I'm a child.
No.
But I can move quietly for a person of my size. That's it. But also, I think I can kind of talk forever without really needing anyone to bounce off of. It just I like to talk probably even more than I like to listen probably. So I was like, okay, what's the best amalgam of that? Because it's kind of bard, it's kind of rogue. I went with brogue. And I know multi-classing is kind of like a little bit not cool in every version of D&D, but I know there are some versions you can multi-class, so that's what I'm going with, brogue.
Okay, fair enough.
I love that. Yep. A little too much.
Yes.
Thank you.
I feel the giggles already welling up. So
Don't start laughing
have-
because I'm gonna lose my mind.
It's all right.
I'm prone to like laughter from nerves, laughter from funny. I'll just lose my shit. Excuse me. Sorry.
No,
you
no,
can
it's
cuss.
fine.
You can cuss.
I can cuss,
forgot to
okay.
give you that. You
Yep.
can cuss.
It's all
I
right.
forgot to give you that. I forgot to say that
This
initially.
is
That's
this
okay.
is a show for grown-ups. It's all good.
I try to keep it mostly family friendly.
Understand.
Support.
Okay, so since your name is related to animals, what animal do you think best describes your personality?
An animal that describes my personality. It's weird because in my brain, I think of myself as being pretty shy and meek and like not wanting to jump into things. Like if I'm in a group setting, I'm usually like hovering on the outside until I feel like, okay, these people are probably safe. I'll say something, and then I get really loud and obnoxious. So I like the first thing I thought of in my head was like meerkat, but I don't think that's necessarily like like a positive connotation. But I'm gonna go with that. That's gonna be my answer because I can see Druid laughing, so that's good enough for me.
Okay. I like it.
I love meerkats.
That's great.
Okay. How long have you been into pro wrestling, and do you have a favorite wrestler?
Oh wow. One favorite is challenging. And I've been into wrestling since like okay, my history of wrestling is weirdly all over the place. I was interested in the characters when it was like the like late 80s, early 90s, like the eat your vitamins, Hulk Hogan era.
Yeah.
I didn't really like Hulk Hogan, but I was into just the imagery. Like it was these huge men that were like had weird characters and it didn't always make sense, but then it kind of like at that age it felt real because I was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
6 in 1990. So that was kind of like the probably the prime time. I wasn't allowed to watch it, but I was aware of it. And then I stopped kind of paying attention. And in the late 90s, I was, a surly teen with raging hormones. So I started watching the Attitude Era in like secret because that would have like my parents would definitely have said no. Even if I was like 17, they'd still be like, no, that's garbage. Why would you rot your brain? So I was like hiding, watching like WCW and WWF at the time. Whenever I could have it, whenever there was a chance it was on, I would just kind of like sneak in and turn the TV on low and kind of watch it. And then I fell off in college because I think I was scared of looking dumb. Like I was just like scared of what people would think of me. So I think I just like stopped. I'll lean into music and then maybe people will think I'm cooler. And then I got back into it. I feel like it was in the it had to be the 2010s probably. Because it was like when I think CM Punk was just starting his like last run in WWE as champion.
Yeah.
And I went to like a party at someone's house and I hadn't thought about wrestling in years. And I just kept asking questions. Like I know I annoyed the hell out of them because they all watch wrestling every week. And I somehow got myself invited to a like WrestleMania party because I was just kind of curious. Like, I wonder what it's like now. And I just kept asking questions over and over. I'm like, why is this guy, is he a real Marine? They're like, no, he just acts like one. I'm like, oh, okay. What about it? And then I think I just like fell in love with CM Punk and then fell in love with Daniel Bryan. And like, it was just these like keystone wrestlers that kept me engaged in either the WWE product or like other things I got into. Like that was that stepping stone when I was in my like mid to late 20s was kind of where I got heavily into it and started watching like Japanese wrestling and like all these indie promotions. Got all super nerdy about it.
Love it.
Favorite wrestler? Holy heck. It's so hard to narrow it down to like one.
If you want to name 3 or one of your top 3, that's fine too.
Yeah, I will name one of my favorite wrestlers. I'm trying, but now I'm getting all nerdy about it because I'm like, oh, this has to represent my also super, niche tastes. My refined wrestling taste. I'd say that like in terms of like weirdness, I love Danhausen in terms of just like work rate and athletic performance, as well as kind of storytelling. I love Kenny Omega. I know that's a little bit basic answer. I used to love CM Punk. I now feel very weird about CM Punk because he kind of turned into a bit of a man baby. Anyways, this is more detail than I know you want. Oh, and then classic era, it's like a kind of Macho Man Randy Savage or Jake the Snake, because Jake the Snake scared me as a kid, and I adored the gimmick. Like, it was so silly, but also he made it seem so scary and serious.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I was watching around the time of HBK and Triple H, and I grew up in a household where we would watch like Monday Night Raw, Friday Night SmackDown, and Saturday Night Live, or Saturday.
Main event?
Yes. Like, we would watch like all the time. Like, it was just a normal thing in my household. So
it's crazy to me. That's crazy to me. I feel like I grew up in like a pseudo intellectual land where it was like, look down your nose at that, even though I was like, oh, I kind of want to watch this like super trashy stuff. Is it?
Why not?
Is it really that bad? It makes me happy. Like, shit, just do things that make me happy. I don't know.
Yeah,
that's right. That's exactly right. 100%.
Yeah, always do things that make you happy. Unless it's murder, then don't do that.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
Switching gears,
or unless you're Dexter, then
here.
you know.
Yeah.
Murder bad guys.
Yeah.
I can get behind that.
Switching gears a little bit. Which province of Canada do you reside in? Have you ever traveled outside of Canada?
I have traveled a little bit outside of Canada. Not tons. Far less than I would like to, but it's just it's like a combination of never really having a ton of money, and then also organization. Like, I need to have a person who's going to be like, did you check your passport? Did you pack this? Did you do that? Even though I know that sounds lame, it's just like my organizational skills are so bad. I could absolutely leave for the airport with no passport. But back to the question at hand. I went to University in Halifax, which is Nova Scotia. It's like East Coast of Canada. And I adored it there. It was so much fun, but there was just like no work that I could get. Like throughout my entire university career, I got like 1 or 2 jobs, both of them pretty terrible, and like could not find work in my field. So I ended up moving back to Toronto. And then like the countries I've been to the States, you know, a handful of times, which was pretty good. You know, I like Boston. I like San Francisco. I like Manhattan has my heart. And then I've been to the UK, and that's basically it.
Oh, cool.
Like
that's quite a bit.
No,
actually.
I've been to France and the Netherlands and the UK.
Nice.
That's it.
Nice.
Beautiful. I'm very jealous.
Yeah, I've traveled quite a bit myself, but I still have yet to make it to Europe. And that's one of the places I've always wanted to see. I mean, for crying out loud, I love medieval fantasy, which is mostly European centric.
Yeah, if you want to see castles, way more than you think you have to. Like, way more than like you think you'd have to like aim for them. Like, go anywhere in like the UK. Like, it's just you're tripping over castles.
I love it. My biggest worry about traveling out there is never wanting to leave. So,
is that a worry though?
That's a worry for all of my friends in the UK that are just like, I need the internet as a distance between you and me.
Set to do not disturb, please.
Locking the front doors. How did you meet the Mighty Mango Mates circle of streamers, and who was the first streaming connection that you made with them?
Okay, so with the Mango Mates. Okay.
Yes.
I love this question because I think about it a lot. There was a long time where I was streaming to no one and I had no idea how to grow, and part of me was like thankful because I could just kind of figure out what I was doing and have a lot of the like mistakes that you do early on and get them out of the way, because I didn't have any like friends that were streamers. No one, I just like looked up guides and tried to figure it out, and then did a lot of things wrong. But I think I was watching the Odd Girls Out one night, you know, shout out to them, they're fantastic. And I think it was Veronica, like literally like messaged me and she said, "Hey, have you met Epsilons? He likes wrestling and you like wrestling. Like you should watch his stream." I was like, "Okay, sure. I don't know enough people on Twitch. Let's go check it out." And he does his like community wrestling nights, which, as you can see, I kind of stole. With his blessing. But yeah, he was doing UCW and I adored it. I was so into it. It was like everyone had characters that they made and he was doing commentary and I kept just like talking his ear off with inane wrestling trivia because that's where my brain goes half the time. You know, the places where like where my keys are and, you know, how to find places I've been to but don't care about. You know, like those places are filled up with wrestling trivia. So I just started like naming moves that he didn't know the name of, and I was like, "Oh yeah." And then after a while of me talking his ear off, he was like, "You should do this. Have you thought about doing this? Like, just do your own thing. Just do the same thing." And I was like, "Really?" Because like I thought about doing it, but I didn't want to step on toes. I didn't want to take your thing and try and just like half-assedly make it mine. But he not only gave me the blessing, he basically shoved me into it and said, if you want to do it, do it. Like he's like, I want to watch you do it. And then I just started doing it. Yeah. So like Epsilons was the first person I met and engaged with. Absolutely like just one of my favorite people in the world. Just radiates positivity. I know you guys have talked to him already, but I don't want to oversell, but he's just like such a good person to talk to. Like, and somehow can get away with things that no one else I think could talking to me. Like he saw me typing in chat and I erased it because I was like, I thought better of it. I was sending him a DM and I was like, no, this is stupid. And he's like, and he texted me, what were you gonna say? I was like, what? No, you can't do that. That's illegal. You're not allowed to do that.
People do that.
You can't do that because like
thing you would do it.
That's my safe haven. I'm in social anxiety mode. Like, let me hide in my corner. But he called me on it, and from him, it came across as like sweet and endearing somehow. And I don't know why, because I would have been so upset if someone else did that to me. I don't know what I was going to say, but I ended up telling him because I was like, all right, whatever. You clearly don't care. Yeah, and so the long story short, first person in Mango Mates I met, and then through him met everybody else, and they're all like equally kind and giving and supportive, and had immediately like took me in and fostered me like a baby duck with a wing injury. You know, it was incredibly kind because I'm like old-ish. Not like I don't want to say that in front of Stormy because I'm gonna seem like I'm being a jerk, but Stormy understands that like I'm not in my 20s and I haven't been for a long time, and a good chunk of Twitch is on their 20s. So like I know that group, they're not in their late 30s. I don't think. I think maybe Epps is like mid 30s. Like I'm almost 40, so I definitely felt like the inverse of, you know, someone showing you the ropes at high school. You know, like all these people that just innately understand how this stuff works, and I'm like, how do you do that? Like, how do you do that with your camera? How do you start a poll? I don't even know which button does that. And like, I don't feel like I'm a technologically inferior person, but like sometimes with Twitch, it's just not intuitive for me at all.
Yeah,
I understand for sure.
So that's the answer to that question.
Great,
with nothing extra.
Great answer. Love it.
it was just completely yeah.
On the note of Twitch, this is another perfect segue. What drew you to Twitch?
I know why, and I also don't know why, because I've had like really paralyzing social anxiety and like stage fright for most of my life. So part of this was to see if I could do it. Because pressing go live for me was harrowing. Like that is absolutely the best way to describe it. It was harrowing. And I had a, what's the proper name? Psychiatrist, because she was helping me with my ADHD meds. But she was like kind of doing some free talk therapy at the same time, because she was just like, oh, whatever, you know, the government's paying me for the hour, so you can just, you know, use some of it. And so I think she asked me like, what would you do if it was just like your pick? What would you want to do if like money's no object, you don't have to worry about being employed, you know, like you don't have to worry about income, you don't have to worry about security. If you just would do something. I think I said like basically this. Like it's like Twitch encompasses all the things I want. One of my favorite jobs I ever had was being a bartender, and I loved kind of setting the tone in the room and making sure that it was, you know, calm and getting rid of the people who are annoying or like, you know, just making everyone uncomfortable. Like I liked that, and I liked bantering for hours. Like I worked at a bar where I did a 12-hour shift plus close. So like I would get there I would open the bar at 3 p.m. and I would leave at like 6 a.m. or something after closing.
Wow.
So it was just crazy, but I would just talk the whole time. Like I would just keep going. And I was like, okay, so how do I do this but not make my bones hurt and not drink all the time? Because both of those are bad for life expectancy.
Yeah.
And this seemed like the best bet. So she kept asking me if I had done it, and that made me feel guilty. So eventually I did it.
Nice.
And now I'm addicted and I can't stop.
And we're glad for her pushing you in that direction.
Bless her.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out Dr. Santos.
Shout out to Dr. Santos. We love you.
Yep.
Thank you for making all of our lives better. I lost my space. Okay. What did your family and friends think when you told them that you started, like you were planning on streaming?
Mostly had no opinion because they don't get it. Like honestly, I feel like I have one, like my best friend, at least like pre-streaming, my IRL best friend, he knows and is super supportive and like has subbed to me or I think he asked if he could sub to me when I wasn't affiliate yet. And I was like, oh, I'll check. I don't know why you can't sub to me. I was like, oh, you can't because I haven't hit numbers yet that make me deserve money. I don't know how it works, but I'm not permanent. I'm a temp still. But yeah, so he was extremely supportive.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if my partner Van gets it completely, but she knows it makes me happy, and so few things I feel this happy doing and this good at. You know, I don't think I'm proficient at streaming, but I enjoy it so much and I like to talk to people so much that it just genuinely gives me joy. So I forget what the question was. I hope that answered it.
Yes,
that
it did.
answered it beautifully.
Absolutely.
Honestly, I was like, what was the question?
Look at your notes. Just leave the cursor there.
Yeah, I have to see it. I put my cursor next to it. Oh, that's so funny.
On that note, so what struggles did you deal with when you first started streaming?
Oh, like I said, just like finding like-minded people. I met a handful of people just by like I drop into someone's chat, and you know, like sometimes I meet people that I kind of vibe with, but a lot of times I would have the parasocial butthurt. I don't know if you've ever experienced that, but where like you're like, oh, I like this person. I want to become kind of like a regular, and I want them to kind of get to know me. And then I would say something weird, and I would see them look at chat and be like, and then move on, and it would crush my heart, and I'd have to go away forever. And that's fine. Like I totally get that I am an acquired taste. I'm okay with that. But it was like I think that made it very hard for me to meet streaming friends. Because I was like tentative, and then also I just didn't meet a lot of people that were my vibe for a long time. And then I had like one keystone like meeting of someone I rated when I was playing Marvel Snap still, and that just like blossomed. Like it just turned into like that person introduced me to this person, who introduced me to this person, who introduced me to this person. Like it really took one connection for me to start meeting like my tribe. But in the beginning, it was my amazingly supportive partner leaving her phone like just lurking in every stream I did just to look like someone was watching.
Yep.
Like it was like her, and I think I had my phone open for a while until we figured out that like it was killing our data because there were like 3 streams open trying to make it feel like I wasn't alone. Yeah, I feel like that was the trickiest part. And then just like compliments. I'm just not good at taking compliments. And I don't think like I my me personally, I hate when people don't take compliments. Like I will tell them like, no, you deserve it, the praise. I won't give you false praise. I won't hype you up if you don't deserve it. Like if I like people, I will overhype them. You know, I will make them uncomfortable with the praise, but I'm not gonna hype someone I don't like, you know? Like I'm gonna go deep and go hard, but it's not insincere at all. Like the
Yeah.
people I like, I love.
Agreed.
Um,
Agreed.
but on the other hand, I've always had like just like self-esteem issues, like the normal stuff, you know.
Mhm.
Childhood wasn't super fun, so I it's hard when people are like, I like you, like let's hang out. And I'm like,
Why?
You talking to me?
Have you
mean-
heard me talk?
you have bad taste in people, but I'm okay with it, you know. Yeah, it's like I've been trying to cure myself of the self-effacing humor and the like deflecting every compliment and just being like into a joke. Like it's just I'm trying really hard to get out of that habit. So that's the two biggest stumbling blocks for me.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that. That's
And audio issues.
yeah, of course. Always.
Audio issues. Don't
Always.
even.
Literally today I had an audio issue. So yeah.
Stormy and I don't want to talk about audio issues. That's for damn sure.
We're always having on audio issues.
It's always audio. It's always my audio. It's always because I'm cutting out and peaking. It's because my volume is always like minimum max 10. Like,
You just
anyways.
need filters. You just need filters.
We'll get there. What tips can you share with future streamers?
Oh man. It's weird because I still feel like a baby. Like I feel like I've been doing this for such a short time. I don't know how I would have applicable advice, but if someone was somehow earlier on the road than me or just starting out, I'd say raid every stream. Like don't worry if you have 2 people. Raid every stream. If you're not completely tapped out, just do it. Because especially if you have it in you to like meet new people, that is an incredible way to make new friends. That is an incredible way to find new communities. It is not 100%. You're gonna meet some people that are uncomfortable or you know like do things that trigger you, and those people you will just kind of like fade into the background and they'll forget you existed. Don't worry about that either.
Right.
There's lots of people on Twitch. They'll forget about you really quickly. And then yeah, like just keep trying to find your people, because if you can find people who aren't in competition, people who aren't worried you're going to steal their light, you know, if you can find people who are as supportive, you know, like it's kind of like they're giving back what you're giving, it is a joy to help other people and to try and lift everyone up. Like that's been my experience, at least. Like the more I've worried about numbers and competing, even though obviously we all want to get bigger and we all want to make money, like, or at least most of us do, as much as that is something that I care about and I would love for this to be a career if possible, I don't think it is, but I would love it to be. I think that the best you can do is to not aim for that, even if that's your goal. Aim into personal relationships and people that you don't have to fake enthusiasm for and who you feel like invest in you a little bit. You know, if you raid someone and they come check out your stream, that's a person you should probably keep track of because they're probably a good person. Like, like it's a decent chance that they're not going to be like weird to you at some point, you know? This is apparently all of my concerns are about weird social interactions.
That's all right.
No, I think it's a really important thing to highlight.
True.
And I'm just gonna kind of just interject really quick.
Please do.
I feel like so many people come to Twitch because of the awkwardness of social interaction in Meat Space. Meat Space is scary. I know that I don't seem like a socially awkward human being, but I can assure you, in the physical world, I also have really bad social anxiety with like human beings. Like it's weird. And Twitch is a really beautiful, safe space if you find the right group of people that bring out the best in you. Heck yeah.
Agreed.
Absolutely.
Yes. Rating is great advice, and some of the other things that you said are great advice for life, not just Twitch. So
that's the thing. If you treat it like friends, if you treat it like I'm going to find people that I like hanging out with, and don't think of it as networking necessarily, even though obviously that's a part of it. I think that always leads me in a better path. Like whenever I'm trying to find a crass way, like trying to make TikToks, I'm not going to make a good TikTok. I'm not going to go viral. It's not a thing. Like I don't think that's a thing for me. I don't have a passion for it at all. So it's all disingenuous. But like meeting people whose content I enjoy is a passion, and meeting people who like the same things I like is a passion. And you know, like that's it's easier to lean into the social interaction, I think. And then the other stuff will probably follow anyways, because if people take an interest in you, they're going to figure out you're a streamer even if you don't tell them. Right. They're going to
exactly.
Like you don't have to come in and say, "Hey, fellow streamers," like it's just like no need to do that. They're going to figure it out.
Sure.
You have a nosy moderator that checks every new chat. That's all you need.
Yeah.
I actually wouldn't do that. That makes me feel weird. That feels like too much like snooping. I
gotta protect my people, and I need to know who these first-time chatters are.
That's fair.
So, bunnieSlaughter, what do you enjoy most about streaming?
Creating a cult of personality. No, that's not it. That's I'm a narc, but I'm not that much of a narc. No, it's such a trite answer because everyone says it, but it's like the social aspect. I've met people on here who I would never in any chance ever run into. Like there's no way I would meet them. You know, I live in a suburb of a giant city in Canada, and like the people I'd met, like I always think of it in terms of like these fish bowls. Like, you know, you're in high school and the people you can meet is like this big. So like the people you're gonna meet are gonna be like kind of close to who you are, but you're rounding up super hard. And then the more people you meet, like the closer you can get, because the selection is so big that eventually you can meet people who are way closer to being like you, and that you feel like you can let your guard down around. And I forgot the question again. I'll get to it. No, it's gone.
What do you enjoy most about streaming?
What do I like about streaming? Thank you. That's not an affectation. I promise you. That happens during my streams. But yeah, I've met so many cool people that I didn't think even existed. Like people who were just so on the right side of things, and I don't have to worry about them saying something weird and far right leaning, and like, you know, like that like are into some of the things I'm into that I think are too weird and niche for people to like them. Yeah. Because I think I tried to be weird and niche, but then I realized eventually I was like, oh crap, there's no one here. Or the people that are here are like not like me. Like you go to a wrestling show, there's not a lot of bunnies there. Even though I love wrestling and I don't hate wrestling fans, some of them are like, they're not me. Yes. So meeting a handful of wrestling fans on Twitch who are like very like-minded was eye-opening. Like I kind of had let that go as a thing. Yeah. I was like, okay, I'm just going to watch this on my own, you know?
Right on.
Yep. I have so many things that I want to say, but we gotta keep. Okay. Thank you, Stormy. How long have you been playing video games, and what was the first one you ever played?
Okay, I've been playing games. I'm pretty sure I know the exact time.
Ooh.
I'm pretty sure it was like Christmas 1990. I'm pretty sure. Because again, I'm old-ish. I remember the NES. And the first game probably would have been Super Mario Brothers. Like that's almost undoubtedly Super Mario Brothers. I still have never finished it, but it kind of sparked my interest, and then the passion developed around the Super Nintendo, which is why I have like a Super Nintendo controller tattooed on me, is because that was when I figured out, oh, I'm going to be doing this forever. Like this is my whole personality now. Like that's it. Like I played Legend of Zelda and, you know, Super Mario World, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, this is me. Figured it out. I'm an indoor kid.
So, what's the favorite thing and least favorite thing you've streamed?
Uh, favorite. It's weird because it's like I think because of my memory issues, because I have tremendously terrible memory. And probably just because of like bias. I just burped. Was that audible?
No?
We don't care.
Okay, I'm so sorry.
Don't worry about it.
None of us care. None of us care.
That's what the filters are for. That's what I have the filters in OBS so that you don't hear that. That threw me off completely.
What is your favorite and least favorite thing you've streamed?
My favorite, again, it's just like recent memory. I had a stream where I played GTA Online. It's not my favorite game, but I played with Epsilons, and I don't think I have laughed harder playing a video game on stream. Like, it was one of those experiences I've had a couple times off stream where everything is just turns into the funniest thing in the world, and things go wrong in the absolute best way, and I couldn't catch my breath. Like, tears were streaming down my face. I haven't laughed that hard on stream, I don't think, ever. And least favorite, this is so annoying because I love the game, but I played Cyberpunk for maybe 45 minutes and I could not talk about it. And I couldn't like figure out what I was doing. I was just like, well, I guess I'm just gonna walk around and keep, because the way I play open world games, I clear out the map. Yeah. Like I don't do any story missions. I'm just like, okay, well, I got to do all these little things and buy every apartment. Like, and that's not fun to talk about or to watch, I don't think. It's like watching someone who's a bit of a completionist just like lean into their hyperfixation. And so I just like quietly turned it off and switched to something else because it just didn't work for me.
I understand.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. What is the most memorable story from your bartending days?
Memorable how?
What's a memorable story that a patron shared with you?
Oh, okay. So not something that happened to me, something that was shared with me.
Yeah.
The funny thing is it's tied to one of the more memorable stories, but not for good reasons. I met... I'm going to try really hard not to give details because, like, this is a real person who I don't want to know. I don't want him to remember me. I met someone who was like 6 hours out of prison and was like 300 pounds, shaved head, tattoos all over his head, like was affiliated, if that means anything to you.
Yes.
And he was definitely on multiple drugs and very drunk, and like was scary in a way that both sometimes I find a little thrilling because I have something wrong with me. But it was like getting to the point where I was like, this is actually this is not great. And he started telling all these stories about like what sounded like murders to me. He was talking about like firebombing people's houses and like Molotov cocktails and stuff, and I was like, oh my god. And like this was during a toast. Like he'd bought shots for the bar, and he started telling the toast about how like if we wronged him, what he was gonna do. And I was like, everyone else is looking scared, and even though I'm scared, I'm also like, can you not threaten the customers, please? Please don't just. Can we lean away from that? You know, like you're cool, but like please stop that. And the owner of the restaurant and my manager just glared at me because they really didn't want him to go like who's that one comics character that Rhino? They didn't want him to go Rhino and just destroy the place because it would happen very quickly. Like
wow.
Like all the chairs, all the glasses, like all the bottles of booze, like it would be like that. It'd be done. Like I could just tell he was a wrecking ball. So yeah, so that was probably the most memorable stories I was told.
Nice. Not nice, but scary, like wild.
That is wild.
But like I said, I kind of walk towards danger sometimes when I shouldn't. Which luckily I'm a little bit better about now because I'm a dad. Like that has taught me not to. But there was definitely a part of my life where I was just like, all right, this seems weird. Let's go. After hours, surely nothing bad can happen. You know, just go walking in.
So, speaking of weird, bunnieSlaughter, Please tell us about your partner, El Stremo. What inspired you guys to work together?
Oh, that's a good question.
Mhm.
He kind of just showed up. And this is the weird thing too, is like the lore for El Stremo is a little bit different than the El Stremo's appearances, because the first appearance of El Stremo, and I don't know if the VOD exists anymore, but was on my affiliate, like my first affiliate stream. And El Stremo actually swung in from the rafters to save me because people were being very kind to me and I was very uncomfortable. So El Stremo came in to like settle chat down, because every time I spoke, people were donating bits and it was making me wildly uncomfortable because it hadn't happened before. This was the first time. And I was like, okay, maybe in 2 weeks I'll get 1 sub and it'll be cool. Like I had very low expectations, and they were like kind of like, to me, felt like showering money on me. And I got very uncomfortable, and then El Stremo came out to like help me out. So it was like kind of like kind at the time. And then it became extremely acrimonious after that. Acrimonious? I think I used that word wrong.
Probably.
It sounded like it fit perfect, so
well,
we're just gonna
I don't
roll
think
with
he
it.
means
Pretty sure I used that word
acrimonious. No, but yeah.
Yeah, it became tense, you know?
Oh,
Hostile. It's a hostile work environment.
Oh, okay.
Between
so
you
no,
and El
I guess
Stremo?
you did use
Between
it right.
me and El Stremo, between the chat and El Stremo, between anybody who gets near him. Like he's one of those people who's just like constantly looking behind his back while telling you he's not nervous. You know? All the macho, I am not.
Gotcha. Okay. For those who are unclear about this, go check out his about section and watch the streams, and you'll understand who else.
You'll know who else. You'll learn eventually. But you have to go follow bunnieSlaughter in order to get to a glimpse of El Stremo.
Right.
Just saying.
Oh my gosh, we don't have to hard sell it. I'm gonna
hard sell it.
That's what we're here for.
It's my most watched clip is El Stremo, because again, he's aggressive.
Gotcha.
And is not me. He's from Guadalajara. I'm from Toronto. He's angry. I'm pretty chill. Various other reasons, we're definitely different people.
Yeah, 100%.
Yes.
100% different people. It's like me and Fern are different. We're different people.
Fern.
I get it. Exactly.
Very similar too.
Who do you think would win in a fight between you and El Stremo?
Stremo. I don't care. I will tap out immediately. I've never won a fight. I don't like fighting. I freeze up. You know. I want nothing to do with it. Like honest answer, I want nothing to do with it.
Agreed.
I thought for a half second that I was like, you know what? I love pro wrestling so much. I don't have a fulfilling career. Let's go do it. And I was like, I don't like getting hurt, and I don't want to hurt other people. So this is a bad choice. Even like simulated, I don't want to hit people. You know, like it's real, not real. So yeah, Stremo, hands down.
Well said. Well said. So, bunnieSlaughter, where is the least interesting place you have traveled to?
Oh,
Oldie but goodie.
I think, and this is no shade on the residents, but I was flown to San Mateo, California. And
I can vouch.
San Mateo is like office blocks, and like and a convenience store is all I could remember. There was one convenience store. And I stayed in San Mateo, which was such a kick in the a kick in your softest parts. Wherever your softest parts are, that's the kick you get, because you fly into San Francisco and get all excited, and then you take BART to the end, and like then you catch a car or something, and you just keep going until it gets boring, and then that's
Wow.
San Mateo. Yeah.
Like maybe I haven't seen the best part of it. Maybe there's a better part of San Mateo that I haven't seen, like the gnarly underside of San Mateo, but like what I saw was not exciting.
It's so funny. You have other people also.
Sorry, California.
No, don't be sorry. I lived in California for 6 years. I could talk smack.
My
parents grew up there too, so I could definitely talk smack. Okay. What is the weirdest sleeping dream you've ever had that you want to share?
I don't think my dreams are that interesting, to be honest. Like I vacillate between. I mean, most of the time, like if there's a pie graph of my dreams, it's like all the way around is like not remember, and then big chunk horrifying nightmares, and then a little sliver is like weird alternate realities where I live like almost a lifetime during the dream.
Well, that's cool. That
like
stands
live in
out.
like tree houses for some reason, and I'm like in a relationship with someone that I don't know that well, or like I had kids when I didn't have kids. Like it's always like super deep to the point where I wake up and I'm like, holy, what is reality right now? Oh, okay, this is the real one. Okay, this is the real one. Got it.
It's so funny.
Yeah.
I am 100% don't remember my dreams.
That's lucky, honestly. I only remember the nightmares mostly.
Oh, I disagree.
It's
No
probably-
offense. We'll have to be on a different worlds on that. I love dreaming, even the nightmares. Now there are some exceptions. I hate the nightmares where the nightmare is like the real world, something like like your boss comes into your bedroom and is making you do dishes in your bed. That's happened to me. That's my worst one of my worst nightmares.
Do you want a dark answer to this question?
No, it's good. It's
no,
good.
okay. No problem.
I'm just saying.
I just remembered one, but it's not fun.
Oh yeah, no, I get you. There's scary ones out there for sure. I don't know. I don't mind the scary ones, like haunted house. I love haunted house dreams for some reason when I'm really scared of ghosts and stuff in the house. I don't know.
Like the kind of the monster movie dream.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So on this note, we're wrapping up to the last two questions of the regular interview.
Oh my gosh.
I like this next question, segueing into this. If you could have any superpower, even one from a dream, which one would you choose and why?
Superpower. Okay, I was asked this question recently. And I don't know if I'm going to stick with that answer because, like, obviously everyone's going to be like, oh, I want to fly. I want to, like, be invisible or super strength or something.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, you know what? It's kind of still my fantasy is just being able to, like, zap people's cars and turn them off. Like you're in traffic, someone cuts you off and you just go boo, and then their car shuts down and they have to pull over. I don't know why. It's just like a petty part of my brain that just really wants to even the score immediately. Like I don't want to wait for karma to get them. I just want to be like, boo, you're done. Take a breather. Half an hour on the side of the road. It's not a good superpower, but it's the one I think I'd actually want.
I like it. I like it.
Phenomenal. All right, this is the last and final question. I'm actually super excited that I get it. This one is going to be very dividing.
She's so overselling it.
Pineapple on pizza, yes or no?
I mean, I like trying to be diplomatic about this because I know people have opinions. And I don't want to what am I kidding? Pineapple on pizza is perfect. Don't even come into my chat. If you don't like pineapple on pizza, get out of here. It's perfect. Sweet, salty, they go together. Why would you not want to have the full range of taste experience in your mouth at the same time? Usually you need to go to sauce for that, but this comes on a plate to you. Anyway, sorry.
I don't know, man. I was so on top of I was so on board this entire interview until the last question.
Well, it was nice meeting you. You know.
I know. I guess. Right. This is where we part ways. It's fine.
It was fun.
It was fun while it lasted.
Yes, because it's such an important question.
I know.
Just saying. I just I love flavors, and I love I think it's a sensory thing. It's I want as much flavor experience as possible. I hate under-seasoned food. I was a hot sauce person. I just pour hot sauce on everything to get it to be exciting.
100%. No, I get that. I do understand my husband hates how much I salt and garlic my food. He hates it. He's like, please, less salt. And I'm just like, okay, fine. I'll put like, a quarter amount of salt that a normal person would like. And then he's like, this is perfect. And I'm just like, okay. And then I have to dump salt, like seasoning salt all over everything because
Gotta have flavor, man. I feel like the only food that I'm crazy about is like Mexican food because they do sauces and spice well. And like my partner is like half Italian, and so we eat a lot of pasta, and it's just doesn't excite me at all. I want to like it, I just don't care. It's fine. It's fine. Sometimes it's made with good ingredients and it's pretty tasty, but
I gotcha. I understand.
I want it to punch my taste buds, but I cannot do the pineapple on pizza though.
Well, that's also partly because you don't like pineapple, period.
I despise pineapple, period.
Yeah, so.
Well, then I don't think you could even get to have a say then. I think you have to like pineapple to even have a say in this conversation. You can't just rule out pineapple for everyone because you don't like it anywhere. That's very hostile.
Yes.
All right. So now that we've wrapped up world peace and the greatest question ever asked, let's jump into the open Q&A. Guys, bunnieSlaughter is amazing. He's a warm, superhuman being. We appreciate him coming on the show. And you guys need to go support him and give him the follows and the subs and the biddies and help keep him going and lift him up on this platform because
absolutely
he's the kind of vibe that we're looking for in this world.
Exactly. We love. So Simon asked this question earlier in chat, so I'm just going to grab that really quick.
Okay.
Because I can start seeing all of everybody else going forth and grabbing, posting questions. I'm going to sneak this one in really quick. Not actual Simon asks, what's a random item or collectible that you have that you're attached to in a way that nobody else would?
Oh wow. In a way that nobody else would.
Yeah, so an example is like I am overly attached to my tree branch that I hang on my wall, and I'm like overly attached to it. Nobody else would understand my level of attachment to this stick on my wall, right? So, just an example.
I'm trying to think because like I used to be maybe the most sentimental person in the world, and by that I mean I was borderline a hoarder. So I used to have like 15,000 knickknacks that were absolutely no one would care about, but I think I just got them and they seemed like they were related to video gaming, and I was really excited to have things that were related to video gaming, so they would just I bought a glass cabinet, like one of those like grandma's like shows off her plates to show off my knickknacks. Like it was out of hand for a while, and then I moved into a smaller place and kind of got rid of most of it. So I don't know. I can't think of anything offhand that's actually a knickknack. Maybe like I have like a Beaker like a action figure like from the Muppets, and I was really wild about the Muppets as a kid, and I got given that as a gift by a good friend because people were saying I looked like Beaker when I had the sides of my head shaved. And while that wasn't a flattering comparison, I do really, really care about that action figure. Like my kid will play with it, and I'll be like kind of sitting there going, "Okay, yeah, I know it's a toy, but like, please just don't." Yeah. So I think that's probably the most like weirdly sentimentally attached I am to something.
Perfect answer. So Mia Mao asks, Bunny, what are your top 3 irregular or weird pet peeves? Or one of 3 if it's tough to come up with 3.
What sorry, what was the head?
Name a few of your top pet peeves.
Pet peeves. I heard that as head something, and then I was very confused. Okay, pet peeves. Oh my gosh, it's like too many because all the sensory issues. Like I have like dramatic misophonia. So when people chew with their mouth open and I can hear it, or talk when they're chewing, I get irrationally angry. And like I check myself. Like I try not to show it. Like there's a lot of time where I'm just like sitting with my finger in my ear, like some sort of weird person, because I just don't want to hear it. It's challenging for me. What else? There's so many little things that annoy me that have no reason to annoy me. Like people that come flying up the like when traffic's merging and one lane's like ending and someone comes flying up there and tries to shove in. I get very petty when that happens. And just annoys me so much. I'll be like bumper to bumper with the car in front, trying not to let people in, which sucks. I don't like that part of me. I want to not care about that because we'll get there when we get there. But for some reason, I'm like, you're cheating the system, and that that inequity, that injustice makes me very angry.
I'm tempted to start walking to work holding a brick over my head so people will see the brick and not try to cut me off when I'm trying to walk across the street because I too get petty. So.
Oh, slow walkers too. Well, there's no good reason for it either. I have long legs, and slow walkers drive me crazy.
Slow drivers, yeah. Oh my god.
I'm short. I should not be walking faster than somebody who's 1.5 feet taller than me. You need to walk your height, people. Walk your height. Use all of that stride. My 5 foot, 1.5 foot. I should not be walking faster than you. I should not. Sorry. Yes.
But is that an ADHD thing, trying to get everywhere fast, right? Because you're bored? Because walking's boring? Like maybe not everybody is trying to speed walk to every engagement. Some people are just kind of enjoying the day. And I'm like, no, but I'm not at a place that stimulates me, so.
I did see at somewhere, and I lost it, but I think it was before Mia's. Oh, yeah. Star Kitty asks, what is your go-to karaoke song?
Oh, that's a great question, and I missed that.
Oh my god, this kind of, it's not a great answer, but I don't do karaoke because I had a really horrible experience with karaoke, and that sounds so silly, but like I think I got really embarrassed once, and then my family teased me about it for like a decade, and now I can't do it. Like you cannot convince me to do it. I've sung my own songs at an open mic, and I will not do karaoke. Like it's just, there's something else about that that just terrifies me. So none. The answer is none.
That's an answer.
No.
I'm very supportive of other people, but no.
I found an interesting question from Seth the Hex. Bunny, if you could add any one thing to your stream and money were no object, what would it be?
Oh my god. I mean, honestly, it would be keeping a video editor / like good like transition person on retainer, so I could ask for every dumb idea I have. Like just like when I think of something stupid that I don't want to learn how to do, I can just be like, can you just mock that up for me so I can do this before I lose steam? Like, because if I try and learn it, I'm either not going to have enough time to do it or I'm going to run out of steam. But if you do it now, we can do something stupid right now, and that would make me very happy. So that's probably it. It's just like the services of someone smarter.
Please.
Yeah. Just like, or like if something's gone wrong, just be like, what did I do? Like, actually, what did I do? Like, just fix it for me, please.
Yeah, make it happen.
Like, I love the satisfaction of fixing it myself, but also sometimes it's so upsetting when you're in the middle of a stream and you bork something and you don't know what you unplugged or what you turned different or what source you just like tweaked.
We've all
it changed, and like the sound isn't coming out, but it should be working. Like, yeah, that kind of stuff just can drive me batty.
Oh yeah. I still get harassed by Ezo over stuff that happened when I was like 6 months into streaming. He still harasses me about it to this. It's funny. I find it hilarious. But he's still. My love language is being bullied by people that I like.
Not really bullied, but like funny.
Yeah, I need to be humbled because I get a really big ego really fast.
Can confirm.
Can confirm. Can confirm. Yes, I agree with Seth the Hex. Go follow bunnieSlaughter.
Oh, Seth. I love Seth.
No Foreign asks, question, have you collaborated with anyone? If not, would you want to, and with who?
I have collaborated with a fairly small amount of people, but it is more a question of social anxiety than it is a question of wanting to. There are so many people I would love to play games with because some of the moments that happen in like when you're really like you're comfortable around people and you can goof around and you know you're not going to annoy them. Like it is just like my favorite times I've ever had gaming. You know, like it's not it's rarely the wins. It's usually about like how hard did I laugh and you know how bad. Like I had a whole evening with a friend where there's like a ragdoll button in Skate 3 and we were just trying to like find the most funny way to like fall over things and we did it at 4 a.m. for like 2 hours and could not stop laughing the entire time. It was one of my favorite experiences, you know? So yeah, I want more of that in every flavor. I feel so weird asking people because I don't want it to look like I'm like clout chasing or something, or like trying to like maybe I'll get bigger if your audience meets me. Like I even though I know that's not my intent, I like want to make sure that like I'm close with someone already before I even give them a whiff of the idea that I would want to collab. Because I want to make sure that it's, you know, like they feel comfortable with that question or even with saying no to me. As long as they're comfortable saying no to me, I'll feel better about it. Yeah. I don't want anyone to do it out of some sort of like obligation. So yes, collabs have some, want more.
All right. Let's make that happen over there, guys. Cozy asks, will we ever see a stream with bunnieSlaughter in the future?
That's so tricky. Like, because my daughter is a ham. Like she is more outgoing than I am by like a like tenfold. Like she's closer to like my stream persona in real life. Like she just goes around and like introduces people. Like she'll on our elevator in our condo, if someone says hi to her, as the door's closing, she will spell her name and then say it so that they remember it. Like like she'd be like bunnie, like as the door's closing, if her name was bunnieSlaughter, she'd be like spelling it out and then saying her name so they remember her. So she has so many friends around the building. So like I think that she would probably like it, but I feel a little weird because she's 4.
Sure.
Yeah.
And so like I have like my stream Instagram and I have a private Instagram. And like my kid is all over my private Instagram, but I feel like slightly weird about involving her in the stream.
Understandable.
Yeah. I'm sure if I do this long enough, there will come a time where she'll ask, and I'm not going to like, I don't care if she wants to. I just feel weird about making that decision for her.
Yeah.
Because the internet's forever. And if ever there came a time where she was like, oh, I really don't like this, and I don't like people looking at me, and I don't like this existing out there, I don't want to be the reason why she can't take it back. She can't make that decision for herself. Yeah. You know?
Understandable. Very
love
honorable.
that.
Yeah.
Love that for you. That's so good. No Foreign asks, question, what's your favorite type of pizza?
Oh, that changes so often. There's like my go-to answer is anything that's spicy. Anything with like spicy peppers or spicy sausage or like something that is making it like that excitement, you know? And also like often a bunch of random ingredients. Like I'll have stuff that just, if I think it complements, I'll put it together, you know? But there was like one pizza made by a local place that was like a white pizza with gorgonzola cheese. And it sounds weird, but if you put hot sauce on gorgonzola, I found out, it is like just beautiful. Just amazing, amazing flavor.
I'll have to try that.
That's my answer. I think it was like, was it artichokes? No, I don't think so. I think it was just like a white cheese pizza with like nice Parmesan gorgonzola, and then I would just cover it in hot sauce.
What's your go-to hot sauce?
I used to be more interesting, but I'm mostly like a Frank's Extra Hot right now because it's easy to acquire and I know it won't go bad for a long time. And I take a longer time to go through hot sauce than I used to. But it used to be I was a sriracha person. I was way into sriracha. It's just that like the garlic content now is kind of like not good for my old ass tum tum.
So
I
Willie
love it
F
so
asks,
much.
what is your least favorite drink to make as a bartender, and do you have a favorite cocktail to drink?
Yes, and well, okay, yes. That's a multi-tiered answer. I was never a great bartender. I want to say that like matter of factly. I think I was a better like listener and talker than I ever was at serving. I was not a natural at all. I had to write copious notes and I had to run basically all the time because I was always behind. Like I couldn't do anything economically. I had to like do things one at a time because my brain couldn't hold it all. But drinks, like I had one person that would come in at like 2 a.m. and ask for a lemon sour. And because I'm a perfectionist, I had to squeeze lemons to make it. I wouldn't use like fake lemon juice. And that is the most annoying thing in the world to make. I think they're not that tasty. I think they're like no shade, but like I think they're kind of not great. They're not worth to put it bluntly, the juice is not worth the squeeze, you know? And that just that always used to irritate me because he'd do that thing where he'd be like do you mind making it? Do you mind? And I'm like, well, I'm in service, so no, I guess, but you know,
I
don't
do mind.
like yeah, my eyes are saying I do mind. My face is trying to say I don't mind.
Mhm.
And I think he must have just had face blindness because he kept ordering it every time. Like bars packed, everyone needs something from me, and he's like, "Yeah, can you make me that thing that involves like 10 minutes of your time squeezing lemons?" Yeah. And then favorite to drink,
Yeah.
I'll flip back and forth between like a whiskey cocktail, like an old fashioned, and like a Negroni. I love making Caesars, and I love having them when I'm hungover, but I don't keep the stuff to make them in the house. So it's one of those things that's like a special occasion if I have access to Caesar ingredients, which Caesar is like a Bloody Mary if you've ever had it, but it has clamato juice, which is a weird Canadian invention that has clams in tomato juice. It sounds gross. It's less gross than it sounds.
That's okay.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna butt in as your barista and say I hate making frappuccinos. And then they turned around and made the frappuccinos where you have to not only add whipped cream on top, but on the bottom of the cup. And, you know, because we work with baby baristas that are little green beans and don't know how to, you know, whip the whipped cream without it exploding everywhere. Half of our baristas walk around with this whipped cream in their hair because when you go to spray the whipped cream on the bottom, it splatters out. And then I have to just be like, listen, you have to like, you know, do it just like a quick little swirl, but you can't, it's hard to teach a technique like that when you're slammed with people in the drive-thru and the lobby and you're just sitting here going, I hate making frappuccinos.
Okay.
They're
Okay,
delicious.
but what if I order a frappuccino with no whip?
Then we love you.
Okay.
Okay. The whip makes it awful. The whip part is awful.
It doesn't mix. It doesn't mix properly. It just like it floats on top, and it's a weird flavor, and it gets oily. Like no, thank you.
It's just literally just heavy cream and like kind of vanilla. And most of the time, it's weird because the people forget to put it back in the freezer or the refrigerator. Anyways, sorry.
Oh.
Thank you.
That's health.
Off on a tangent there, Druid. No point has a question, I think. At 7:06.
I don't have a time slots on the stream together. Just a point that I want to make. Banana Tom also is ADHD, and he just I saw this and I just really wanted to point out. Banana Tom, all caps, says, "I walk with a stick and I still outwalk people." So just wanted to throw that out there.
So there is a continuity so far between ADHD and walking way too fast.
Yeah, so far. I'll have to do a poll in my chat.
I used to run to school, like no lie, because I'd get bored on the walk. I would sprint to high school because I was just like, this is annoying. I'd wait until the last minute to leave, and then I would run to school.
We would take trips through the woods, and we would like try to find and make new trails and try to get there as fast as possible. Yeah,
nice.
It was great.
Interesting.
Yeah, grew up growing.
So,
will there ever be a chance to hear bunnieSlaughter's secret opera voice?
Secret opera voice? Where?
Oh, it's Wheelie F.
I don't think I have a secret opera voice.
Oh, and I missed that
I
question.
don't
Good
think I
eye
keep
there,
much
Druid.
secret to begin with. I'm not very good at keeping secrets. It just all spills out. So no, I guess not. Probably a no. Or if you've heard me just like singing for no reason in stream, that's it. I hope that satisfies.
No asks, do you have any pets? And if not, would you want any?
I do have a pet, which my cat Lizzie occasionally guests on stream when she just kind of falls asleep on the bedspread back there because she's a bit of an elderly lady, and so she does sleep a lot of the day. And I think I'm just a cat person. Like I've never wanted a dog, which again, for some people is a great thing. For me, it sounds like a nightmare because if the animal needs more than I do in terms of like reassurance and like catering to, I don't have it in me. Like you can't be higher needs than me. I am quite high needs. So I don't need that kind of action, you know? Like I can't reassure you because I'm still nervous. Like can you reassure me? Whereas when no, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Whereas what I always think of like when a cat hangs out with you, you're like, oh, you picked me. Cool. Like I'm all right. I must be all right because you chose to hang out with me. But like the dog, I'm like, I don't know what you need from me. I can't give it. I feel weird about this that you're like so excited to see me and you don't know me. Like it's every part of it is uncomfortable to me.
Definitely don't get a bird.
Oh, okay.
Don't ever get a bird. 2-year-old with a can opener for a face, and you have to spend time studying their behavior to understand them. But the thing is, it hits all the right signals in my brain where I'm like, I get to hyper analyze you. Okay, cool. Anyways, Starkity asks, do you like square or triangle pizza?
Oh, I think pretty much always triangle. Like I know it's not efficient, like especially when you're packing into like a box or something, but square pizza always just seems like it's like you cannot get that crust perfectly flat.
Right.
It's a little bit lumpy. It's sometimes you get like burnt areas where you wouldn't like. It's just like there's something about the circle and then like the slice that fits in your hand perfect. I don't know. There's something very satisfying about a triangle of pizza.
Yep.
But now Tom has a bit complicated question that might take a little bit long to answer, but we'll see if you got a nice succinct one. What good practices do you have to combat the negatives of ADHD?
Oh, no, that doesn't take a lot of prep because I have so many strategies. And like most of them involve having because I think it depends on the level of like severity is the wrong word because I don't want to think of it as like an illness necessarily. It's just a different way your brain works. But like I have memory issues and I have like almost zero executive functioning. Like it's bad. When I live on my own, nothing gets done. You know, like I didn't pay my taxes for 10 years because I thought it was scary and so I just kept not looking at it. Like it's just my strategy now is that I have a very understanding partner that gives me things I'm good at and takes away the things I'm bad at. So like we have like a whiteboard in the middle of our living room that she writes what I need to do in a day. I swear, I'm like that bad at organization. Like if she tells me, I'll forget it right after the conversation. If she writes it in an app that I have to check, I will forget to check the app. Like it's so disabling that I have to have the like on the wall list to refer to that even kind of has some suggestions for times because like I also have time blindness. So I'll like leave myself 10 minutes to do 3 tasks that take an hour each. Like it's just, I need a little bit of help there. But like, yeah, I think if you can find people who can help you highlight your good qualities and make you feel a little bit less like you're constantly playing catch up and constantly getting exhausted by masking, like that is the key. It's environment, you know? And then barring that, like just, I don't know, find anything you can be passionate for on a long-term basis because it's going to keep you going a lot more than anything else. At least for me, like I cannot work jobs I don't like. I self-sabotage until I get fired or laid off or whatever else. Like If I'm bored, I'm bored, and it's nothing can save me. So I assume that's probably similar for a lot of neurodivergents. Like, just follow your passion as much as you can, because that's probably the only thing that's going to keep you engaged and not like, I don't know, like when things are boring, my brain starts shutting down. Like, I'll just look at like a form I have to fill out, and then just feel fatigue set in, and like my shoulders hurt. Like, it's like physical symptoms of just like, I don't want to do it. It's so boring. I can't even. My eyes will start unfocusing. Like, it's just so bad.
Yeah.
Oh, and get an accountant. Get an accountant, because taxes are stupid. Pay someone. It's like, I know it sucks, but pay someone, because it's so unfun.
Yep.
It's like the world's worst test. Just don't. Yeah.
Amazing. Nahomi asks, is El Streamo available for questions?
Oh.
We're,
I mean, that's up to the hosts.
if they have,
I don't want to take over.
If we got one question for El
Streamo.
if somebody has a question for El Streamo, you can.
Yeah. Do you want to like collect
one.
those, and we can just do a couple at the end or something whenever you want to wrap up?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a great idea. Do
Or
you
are we
have
close
any
to the end? I
questions
don't know.
for us
I
before
genuinely don't know.
Yeah, did you have any questions for us before we, do that?
Oh. Well, okay. I don't know. I haven't watched every episode of Bandwidth and Banter, but has anyone ever asked y'all what classes you play? I know Stormy is probably more of a DM than a class in general, but
No, those are.
I have officially figured out what if I were to classify myself as a D&D, I would be a bard barbarian in real life.
A barbarian.
A barbarian.
And that is subject to change without notice, because it's been other things in the past.
It has been, but this is like, I do truly think, because like my husband says my highest stat is my charisma.
Yeah.
And
true.
I am not a holy person, so it would have to be just bard, because I could also talk forever and ever and ever, and people say I'm entertaining. But the thing is, when I do fly into a rage, I can't focus on anything but this source of my rage. And nothing else. I cannot do it. If I am like something, it's there. It is my target of my pure hatred, and so I do truly think I am a barbarian.
Perfect answer. Stormy?
That's a good answer. Well, yeah, I guess obviously bard, but I've done a lot of interesting things in my life. So I would say I'm more an old school multi-class, like because I've done a lot of interesting things. So I would throw in bard is kind of a primary, with a dash of fighter, a dash of ranger. Yeah, like definitely some rogue. Yeah, a bunch of different things. So true
Nice.
Jack of all trades, I would say.
Yeah. And if you're like me, master of none.
Working on that. So let's ask one more question from the group. Then I like this idea of asking El Streamo a question, if you're up for it, buddy.
My silly bullshit infects another stream.
I love it.
Plums asks, "What's your favorite Mexican food?"
My favorite Mexican food?
Yeah.
I mean, I think the go-to is usually tacos. Like I would love to see so many different interpretations of tacos. I've had really good, really expensive tacos that were like blew my mind.
Mm-hmm.
And also I love to eat Taco Bell. Like it is one of those things where if it's like super junky, I love it. If it's super upscale, I love it. It's just hard to go wrong unless it's like underspiced. That's basically the only go-to.
Gotcha. All right.
There are Nahomi's like coming up with the El Streamo questions.
We don't have time.
Nope, we don't.
I don't think.
Listen, I think we can like fast get through those 3 questions. So
Lightning round?
Naomi has 3 questions, lightning rounds, and we could bust them out if we want to.
Let's do it.
You want to
Let's do it.
call. Let's call in El Streamo
I'll
really
see if I
quick.
can find El Streamo. I don't know. I don't think I can be right back here. So, I'll just go see if he's around.
Okay. That'd be awesome.
I'm way too excited about this.
I know, this is awesome.
I am way too pumped. And I am so Naomi, thank you for asking if El Streamo was available.
It's clever.
Thank you
Very
so
clever,
much.
Can't seem to hear you right now, so just give me a second. Well, maybe I'm gonna have to wear the headphones after all. It's been a while since Streamo had to wear in-ear monitors. Usually the TV is pretty easy to tape without them. Okay, hold on. Let's see. Okay, I can hear you now. Yeah, go for El Streamo.
All right, El Streamo. Hold on, wait. Pineapple on pizza, yes or no?
I don't think there's any reason to involve dessert and dinner.
Fair enough.
El Streamo.
El Streamo question. Favorite wrestling move?
Probably anything that wins me a title. It really doesn't matter. If I have to tap you out, if I have to submit you, I don't care. I will use anything in my bag of tricks, and I will win.
El Streamo, what's your favorite thing about bunnieSlaughter?
How exactly do you codify a favorite when you hate everything about him? Like, I would say that I enjoy the fact that he has a stream so that I can come and make it better. But even that, like, I don't have time for this. This is cutting into t-shirt sales time. I really don't need to be here. I could be working out. I could be, making protein shakes. I don't need this in my life. So I think the answer's nothing. He's unredeemable.
Why do you then bully Bunny when you saved him in the past?
There's no proof of that.
Oh, okay.
Show me the receipts. I've never looked after him. He's a jabroni. Don't need him.
Oh, bunnieSlaughter, have you had Biratokas? Oh, sorry, this isn't bunnieSlaughter anymore. Oh, we'll have to save that one for another time.
Who exactly do you think you're talking to here? I thought this was some sort of professional organization. I didn't realize I was coming to this dog and pony show.
You're right. You're 100% right. So Star Kitty asks, what is your entrance song to the ring if you're that professional?
That's a good question. I've gone through a couple of them. The one that probably got me the most, kind of to use your parlance in this weird internet age, hyphy. The one that got me the most ready was probably. It sounds weird, but anything by Madonna gets me going. I can't explain it. It defies reality. But there's something about the way that she writes a hook that just, makes me ready to party. And by party, I mean fight, and by fight, I mean win.
Streamo, do you admire anyone?
I'm partial to Bunny Daughter. She seems all right. She's not. I mean, she might. Who knows in the future? But for now, yeah, she seems all right. And yeah, no one else.
So
everyone's just like here.
All right then. Who's your favorite person to kick in the face?
That's a long list, but probably top amongst them. I think Batman. He has no business being in a wrestling ring. He needs to stick to his lane, right? And we know it's not comedy. There's one thing you can do, so just do that and get out of my ring, okay?
A cage match, yes or no?
With who?
Anyone. Batman.
Okay, yeah, of course, yes. If there's a title involved, I'll be there. But I have a long rider, so, you got to have the pocketbook ready.
All right. So this is perfect. It looks like Mr. Hildebrand has your perfect song to stomp into like a virgin.
Yeah, exactly. Nailed it. And the great part about that is they think it's going to be easy. If you underestimate me, that's maybe the only thing you could do worse than actually estimating me is underestimate me. Because then it's going to be over even quicker and I can get to the back. They don't pay me by the hour, right?
You know,
may as well get it done and get back to the table so I can sell my t-shirts.
Yep. All right, and on that note, we're not paying you right now. I'm sorry, we can't pay you retainer there, El Streamo. So we're gonna have to.
Why
ask
am I
you
here?
To bring bunnieSlaughter back. Just sorry. Appreciate
Wait,
you hanging out.
Question. One more quick question. I'm so sorry, El Streamo. One more quick question. Hell in a Cell versus me, yes or no?
Versus Druid?
Yes.
Oh yeah, name the time and place.
We're on. Listen.
I could do that with your arms. I could beat you with your arms, even your puny arms, no problem.
Get out my legs. My legs are powerful.
I hope so, because otherwise it's gonna be boring for me. Gotta give you something to work with.
All right. Oh, I'm so pumped. I am so pumped and so competitive. I'm ready. Let's go, El Streamo.
That's fine. Bring anyone you want with you. Doesn't matter.
I could do it all by myself.
All right.
With my glasses off.
Big words.
So, El Streamo, did you want us to wrap up with you tonight, or with your counterpart that you reluctantly work with?
Well, as you have revealed, that I am apparently making no money on this. That's enough. You've got more than you deserve of El Streamo, okay? So be extremely happy.
Thank you for deigning us with your presence.
So how'd it go?
That was unique. I wouldn't want to meet him in a dark alley or serve him drinks because, it's kind of scary.
Not fun. Not fun, that kind of aggression.
I have to schedule a match with him, Hell in a Cell.
Yeah.
So,
she's a little.
Gonna be great.
Sometimes she's a little self-destructive. She's gonna get herself like smushed. Although I don't know.
I would,
She's feisty. She is a barbarian after all.
You got to get your hours in at the gym. You gotta train.
Listen, right. I was a wrestler and I did Taekwondo and I've done a ton of sports. I might not look like it now.
And she knows she knows another dozen dangerous words too.
It's also true.
Dangerous words?
I know, right?
Is that like an incantation?
So on that note, guys, this guy is talented and amazing and wonderful and a warm human being and a bright soul. Please go support him, go follow him, go send him biddies in subs. Thank you so much for coming on the show. It's been an honor, sir.
Thank you so much for having me. Like I said, this is a chance to hang out with two people I enjoy. Any excuse for that, I'm game.
Agreed. It's been our pleasure. Am I right, Drew? Look at it. She's already on the job, throwing out your links. Please go check them out, guys.
Thanks so much.
This has been the most unique episode of Bandwidth and Banter so far, and I appreciate you, sir.
I can only bring as weird as possible.
And we appreciate
I am
that.
me.
100%.
I live for it. I am so pumped right now. I have to go run around my house after this.
She's got the zoomies for sure.
My husband is not happy about coming home right now because I am literally so pumped.
Someone has riled up the children. Who gave Druid sugar?
All right. Thanks again, brother.
Streamo.
We'll talk to you later. Wow.
Oh my God.
That was awesome. That was
right?
That was a treat. What are you whispering for?
Oh, reminding. This is the outro time.
Yes.
Wind down time between Stormy and I. Yeah. Yeah.
That was incredible. He's such a warm human being, and he's got a really interesting friend, business partner. I don't know what their relationship is, but if it works, I mean, it definitely was entertaining. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So it was awesome having bunnieSlaughter on, and I can't wait for next week. Who we got on for next week?
I feel so, really quick, I have to just say, I feel so blessed by being able to just take an hour and a half of bunnieSlaughter's time.
Agreed.
And
we got a few minutes of El Streamo too. Holy shit.
Yeah, that guy, whatever. I am thankful for bunnieSlaughter. And I have to go lift weights now and prepare for my fight with El Streamo. But bunnieSlaughter, my man, love him. So happy.
Agreed. It was an awesome interview.
Yes.
And I'm sure we'll have another awesome one next week. Who do we have coming on next week, lady?
I'm sure he does not remember. But it's gonna be.
Oh no way! Is it already?
It's Banana Tom!
Yes. So we have a special thing going on next year, guys. We're announcing it now, apparently, because we have that's the way it is. So we decided to do a special thing every year from now on. Well, it's going to be a monthly thing. One of our episodes of Bandwidth and Banter each month will be devoted to a recurring guest, somebody we're going to have back on the show who we've had before. And it's not an easy choice to make. I'll tell you guys that. Choosing 12 people out of the like 48
awful.
That we've interviewed is not
It's
an
awful.
easy thing to do.
It is not easy.
But, we have methods that make it a little bit easier, and we're sure that you guys will enjoy their company once again. And we're also going to have a slightly different format, I think, for that. It's going to be more of a sit-down, casual, just chat, maybe have some deeper conversation about things that might not be as lighthearted necessarily, or who knows? We'll see where it goes. We'll kind of follow the path as it goes. And we're going to have the amazing Banana Tom OG on next week as our first ever recurring guest on Bandwidth and Banter.
It is only fitting because he was our first ever guest on Bandwidth and Banter.
Yep.
So it was only ever fitting.
Yeah. And also he has a special place in our heart as well. So
yeah, don't tell him that I said that, but
yeah, I mean,
love the guy.
He it's okay. All right. Thank you, wonderful folks, for hanging out with us tonight and seeing bunnieSlaughter and watching Bandwidth and Banter and supporting us and supporting the folks that we support. It's been an honor and a pleasure. So let's do our outro, shall we?
Yeah.
Did you have anything else that you wanted to add? I want to hear what you have to say.
Don't forget to follow bunnieSlaughter on Twitch. It's twitch.tv/bunnieSlaughter. But it's BUNNIE S laughter. Go for it. Go follow him.
Right.
Please.
Well said.
Please.
Okay. Perfect. Well done. Now, thank you guys for coming to the show.
Please drop a like, subscribe, and comment down below.
If you're listening to the podcast,
please rate and review the episode.
We're Bandwidth
and Banter.
Thank you.
And good night. Goodbye. Goodbye.
That was